You know how it is, you're trying to stay informed, but the news just keeps coming, right?
Oh, definitely.
It can feel like a constant battle to get the essentials without getting completely lost in the details.
Yeah, information overload.
Well, today's deep dive is specifically for you. We're going to unpack the recent headlines surrounding Virginia Giuffre.
That's right. You've likely seen her name pop up before, especially in connection with some, well, very high-profile legal battles.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're seeing reports about new legal issues she's facing, along with some rather dramatic health claims, all while she's living in Australia.
Exactly. So for this session, we've gone through a number of news articles and some background on what it actually means when someone, breaches a restraining order.
Good background to have.
Our mission here is straightforward: to give you a clear understanding of the key facts surrounding Virginia Giuffre's recent legal and health-related developments. Okay, let's get into it.
Right. Before we dive into what's happening now, let's take a quick step back because the context is important for you. Virginia Giuffre, sometimes known by her maiden name Roberts,
Right, you're Robert.
became a very public figure as a prominent accuser of Jeffrey Epstein. You might recall her lawsuit against Prince Andrew, where she alleged sexual assault when she was a minor after being trafficked by Epstein.
Yes, that was a huge story that I know you followed closely. That lawsuit, as you probably remember, ended in an out-of-court settlement.
Mm-hmm.
Reports suggested it was around $14 million. It's also worth keeping in mind, though, that Prince Andrew has consistently denied all of these allegations
And always denied them.
and has never faced any criminal charges related to them.
Exactly. And now, if you fast forward to where things stand today, Giuffre has been living in Australia. Recent reports indicate that she and her husband of 22 years, Robert Giuffre, have separated.
Okay.
It seems this personal change is happening at the same time as these new legal issues she's facing in Western Australia.
Which brings us to these recent legal troubles that you're seeing in the news. According to court records, Giuffre has been charged with breaching a family violence restraining order.
Okay.
This happened in Ocean Reef, which, for context, is near Perth in Western Australia. The alleged breach reportedly occurred back on February 2nd, 2025.
Right. The case first came before the Joondalup Magistrates Court on March 14th of this year.
Just recently.
Yeah, pretty recent. At that initial appearance, Giuffre did not enter a plea. The court has scheduled her next appearance for April 9th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. local time.
April 9th. Okay.
So that's definitely something for you to keep an eye on if you're following this story.
Now, here's something that you might find particularly interesting. The specific details of this restraining order haven't been made public.
Right. Typical.
In the reports we've looked at. However, it does seem to be related to family matters, and this is where it gets really intriguing.
Uh-huh.
Reports also mention that Giuffre's estranged husband, Robert Giuffre, also had a listed court date
Oh, for what?
for allegedly providing inadequate storage facility for firearms.
Wow. Okay.
It really makes you wonder if there's some connected domestic issues at play here,
It certainly suggests a period of significant personal difficulty for Giuffre, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture for you, there was a social media post from Giuffre herself back on March 22nd, 2025, that seems to hint at some of these family struggles.
Yes, that post really stood out when we were looking at the sources. She wrote about her children, saying they have no clue how much I love them and they're being poisoned with lies.
Strong words.
She also mentioned feeling incredibly hurt, more than anything she had experienced in her 41 years, and pleaded not to have her babies taken from her. It definitely points to some ongoing and serious family issues that could be linked to this restraining order.
Then, just a few days later, on March 30th, you likely saw a very dramatic post from Giuffre on Instagram.
Yeah.
This one included a photo of her looking bruised and, well, in a hospital bed. In the post, she made some quite concerning claims about a car accident.
Concerning is definitely the right word for what you saw there. She claimed that the car she was in was slowing down to make a turn when it was hit by a school bus.
A school bus?
Yeah, a school bus that was traveling at 110 kilometers per hour. That's about 68 miles per hour for those of us thinking in miles.
Wow, that's fast.
She went on to say that she had gone into kidney renal failure, meaning her kidneys were not functioning properly, and had been given just 4 days to live.
Just 4 days. Her words were quite stark, as you probably read. She said, "I've gone into kidney renal failure. They've given me 4 days to live, transferring me to a specialist hospital in urology. I'm ready to go. just not until I see my babies one last time.
Very emotional.
It's a very emotional message, and understandably, it generated a lot of attention and media coverage for you to process.
But here's where the narrative takes a pretty significant turn, and it's something you'll want to pay close attention to. The Western Australia Police have released information that seems to contradict some of the details in Giuffre's account. According to their statements, they received a report of what they described as a minor crash.
A minor crash.
Yeah, between a school bus and a car in near Gabby, which is about 12 miles north of Perth, on March 24th.
Okay, so the date is different too. Well, earlier than her post. What's interesting for you to note is the timing. Giuffre's post was on March 30th, but the police report is from March 24th, with the bus driver reporting it the following day.
Right.
Crucially, the police spokesperson stated that there were no reported injuries resulting from this incident.
Exactly. So you have Giuffre claiming severe health consequences, kidney failure, only days to live.
Yeah, very serious claims.
While the police are describing a minor crash with no reported injuries, they even mentioned the damage to the car was estimated at around 2,000 Australian dollars.
Which is what, under 1,000 pounds?
Yeah, less than 1,000 pounds. It's a pretty stark difference in the accounts, wouldn't you say?
A huge difference. Following all the attention that you saw on Giuffre's Instagram post, a spokesperson for her issued a clarification.
Ah, okay. What do they say?
They said that Giuffre had actually intended to share that post on a private Facebook page, not her public Instagram account.
Oh, interesting.
Suggesting it wasn't meant for the wider audience that ultimately saw it.
Okay, so the spokesperson's statement attempted to reconcile Giuffre's claims with the police report for you.
Sort of, yeah. It said, Virginia thanks everyone for the outpouring of love and support. She is overwhelmed with gratitude. Today she remains in a serious condition while receiving medical care.
Still serious condition, though.
Yes, still serious. It continued. On 24 March, in rural Western Australia, a school bus hit the car in which she was riding.
Okay, confirming the date and the bus.
The statement continued, providing a bit more detail for you. Virginia was banged up and bruised and returned home. Virginia's condition worsened, and she was admitted to the hospital.
Ah, so the timeline is she went home first, then went to the hospital.
Seems like it. Giuffre's family also elaborated, stating that they did call the police after the incident, but were told no one was available to come to the scene, and were advised to go to the hospital if anyone was injured.
Okay, so that kind of explains maybe why there wasn't an immediate police report of injury at the scene.
Potentially, yeah. But this whole situation has definitely led to questions being raised, as you might imagine, about Giuffre's credibility.
Yeah, I saw that.
As the Daily Beast pointed out in their reporting, this new twist does little for her credibility.
Right.
And it's important for you to remember that supporters of Prince Andrew have previously labeled her an unreliable witness and questioned the settlement.
True.
These recent events could certainly have an impact on how the public views her past allegations.
It definitely adds another layer, doesn't it?
It's a complex situation, and it brings up an important point for you to consider about how we interpret information, especially when it's shared on social media in cases that are already, in the public eye.
Very true.
Now, shifting gears slightly for a broader understanding, since we don't have the specific details of Giuffre's restraining order, it might be helpful for you to understand generally what breaching such an order can involve.
Okay, good idea. Let's unpack some general information about restraining order breaches for you. From what we've seen in legal contexts, breaching a restraining order is a serious matter.
Definitely serious.
And it can lead to criminal charges. These specific penalties can vary quite a bit depending on, the nature of the breach and its impact on the person who is protected by the order.
That's right. Penalties can range from warnings or fines all the way up to imprisonment. In more serious cases that go to Crown Court, the maximum sentence can be as high as 5 years.
5 years. Wow.
It's not something that legal authorities typically take lightly, as you can imagine.
No, absolutely not. And it's not just about the initial act of breaching the order itself for you. Police will investigate these situations, and if other offenses have occurred at the same time, like harassment or stalking,
Right. Could be related offenses.
then additional charges can be brought.
Exactly. When a court is considering sentencing for a breach, they'll look at a number of factors for you. This includes the culpability of the person who breached the order.
Like, did they mean to do it?
Yeah, exactly. Intent. Also, any harm that was caused as a result of the breach, and any aggravating or mitigating circumstances surrounding the situation.
Okay.
So, while we don't know the specifics of Giuffre's situation, this general context gives you an idea of the potential seriousness of the legal issue she's facing.
Right. So to bring it all together for you, we have Virginia Giuffre facing a looming court date on April 9th
Coming up soon.
for allegedly breaching a family violence restraining order in Australia. This is all happening alongside questions and controversies surrounding her recent dramatic health claims, which followed a reported minor car accident.
That the police have indicated resulted in no injuries. A lot of conflicting information there.
Definitely. The timeline of events is really key for you to grasp the full picture here.
Yeah, let's recap that.
We're looking at the alleged restraining order violation back in early February,
Okay.
the initial court appearance in mid-March, the reported car accident in late March, and then those dramatic health claims just days after that.
It definitely paints a picture of a period of significant personal and legal turmoil.
Absolutely.
Uh,
And that upcoming court date on April 9th will likely be a point where you might see more clarity emerge regarding the legal aspects of this situation.
You hope so, yeah.
It's also crucial for you to remember why this is all making headlines. Giuffre played a very prominent role in past high-profile cases.
The Epstein and Prince Andrew cases, primarily.
Exactly. And that's precisely why these current developments continue to draw so much public and media attention that you're encountering.
This whole series of events really makes you think, doesn't it, about the power and the potential pitfalls of social media,
For sure.
especially when it involves individuals in the public eye dealing with complex personal and legal situations. Information can be shared so rapidly,
It's-
and sometimes without the full context or even the intention of reaching such a wide audience as it often does.
Yeah.
Like that alleged private Facebook post ending up on public Instagram.
That's a really insightful point for you to consider.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder about the responsibility that individuals have when sharing information on these platforms,
Yeah.
and also the responsibility of the media in navigating these complex narratives, especially when the information might not be entirely accurate or intentionally made public.
It's a tricky balance,
It
definitely.
really is. It's definitely something for you to continue to think about as this story develops.